Hi there, my name is Fuzz Hogan. This is my 5th year tutoring with Reading Partners, and it's been a blast every year. I'm a journalist. I have 2 grown children, and Reading Partners is a great way to remind myself of the time I had when my kids were that little. So I've been asked to talk about a core value. Laughter keeps us going. Here's the core value. We encourage, appreciate, and celebrate each other with exuberance and a sense of humor. We embrace joy, eccentricity, and a healthy dose of laughter in our daily work. So I don't have a specific story to illustrate that core value. It's a really, every week we get to laugh. The kindergartner who clings to my leg as I'm walking from his room to the Reading Partners room, he's having a blast. He knows he's going to have fun in the room. He really does. He's also having fun winking at the teachers down the hall because he knows they'll never let him do that. The 4th grader who stopped a lesson just yesterday over Zoom and just, "Are you scared of snakes?" she asked me. She kind of had to know whether her tutor was scared of snakes because that would be a problem. And we had a good time with that. I talked a little bit about that. And of course, when we're all together in the same room, the adults are having fun with each other, even while we're giving the lessons, using opportunities in the middle of a read along to make a side joke that only adults would understand. That's right, kid. Mr. Incredible might be big and strong, but remember, Mrs. Incredible is the brains of that outfit. So for all those kinds of laughter, I'll definitely be back next year, and as long as I can. It's a very well-run program. I'm sure we all spend each hour of the week worrying about whether it's time well spent, and this is one that is offers extremely high returns in terms of joy and fulfillment. I strongly recommend it. It is also really delightful to see how each child learns how to read from the beginning of the year to the end. It's amazing. So thank you so much for supporting Reading Partners, and we hope to see you again next year.
Hi, my name is Elvin Yuzugullu. I've been a volunteer with the Reading Partners since the past 5 years and honestly loved every moment of it. So one of the core values of Reading Partners is that volunteers get results. We know that service and volunteerism work. We mobilize and intentionally nurture a community of AmeriCorps members, volunteers, and partners to make a difference. So that might sound like a bold statement, but Reading Partners truly embodies the whole meaning, in my opinion. So the way I discovered Reading Partners several years back was kind of an interesting coincidence and a very nice memory now that I think back on it. I was mindlessly just scrolling through Facebook one evening and I came across this video of a gentleman in his maybe late 60s or 70s, just at that age learning how to read. I mean, think about it. He hadn't been able to read anything at all until that age, most of his life gone by. But then he started learning and he was actually able to read a book that his son wrote. I mean, that just brought tears to my eyes at that moment. And I'm like, there's got to be some organization or somebody or some way I can help, whether it's elderly or children or just people who, want to learn to read. And just Googling and browsing through, I came across Reading Partners. And this was, I think, around April or something that year. So it was near the end of the school year. But I did start and was able to go to, the last 4 or 5 sessions of the year since the school year was ending. And just fell in love with it. The energy you get when you step into a school, the way the students, you're like family to them. They hug you because you develop that one-on-one relationship. And I've had experiences where, for example, one of my students, in the middle of one session one day, she was suddenly like, "Oh, I can read." I mean, that was so cute and adorable and at the same time so heartwarming. And just to think that our efforts throughout the weeks had led her to reach that breakthrough moment was just wonderful. The next year, she actually found me in one of the classrooms again and came and gave me a hug. Or I had one case where one student one day, we were discussing a harder topic too. I mean, in terms of grammatically and everything. So it was natural for her to get stuck, but she really got stuck. I mean, she totally froze no matter what we did. Nothing, no response at all. You can see tears coming down her eyes. I mean, it was just heartbreaking. And later on, I learned that she had unfortunately gone through some bullying in the morning. So imagine her self-confidence just tank. but continuously having reading partners and AmeriCorps, members and volunteers, that whole community helping students like this, gives them a safe, nurtured environment, and then you see the breakthroughs happening. You see their confidence building up. It's amazing, and it's just been a wonderful opportunity. I hope to continue. I mean, over the last year, with the COVID situation, there was a time where we couldn't do any volunteering, but Reading Partners was then great about like transitioning to an all online platform, and that's been working great. And hopefully at some point we can go back to in-school training, because it's always wonderful to have the energy of the students live. I hope to continue this as much as I can, and in fact, being remote like this, I've been able to fit more volunteering into my schedule, so I'm happy about that. So check them out, and hopefully you can volunteer and be a part of this wonderful community.